The properties of real numbers are what allows us to simplify expressions in algebra, and as you'll see, that's something we're going to do quite often in this course. Let's go to the board and look at some problems. The instructions are simplify, and I have in parentheses a plus 3 and then outside parentheses plus 5. What allows me to simplify this is the associative property of addition, and so I'm going to rewrite this sum as a plus 3 plus 5 using the associative property to change the grouping from a and 3 to 3 and 5. Now that I've grouped 3 and 5 together, I can simply add them, a plus 8. So a plus 8 is the simplified version of the quantity a plus 3 plus 5. Here's our next problem. 1/3 times 3x. How can I multiply the 1/3 and the 3 when the 3 is inside the parentheses? The answer is with the associative property of multiplication. So it's 1/3 times 3 times x. I changed the grouping from 3 and x to 1/3 and 3. Now 1/3 times 3 is 1, times x is simply x. So 1/3 of the quantity 3x in fact does turn out to be x, and the reason is because of the associative property for multiplication. Here's one that involves the distributive property. Let's distribute this 1/2 over the sum 2a plus 4. So I'll multiply 1/2 times 2a and add that to what I get when I multiply 1/2 times 4. Now that's showing all the steps. The result is simply 1/2 times 2a, because of what we did on the previous problem, is simply a, and then 1/2 times 4 is 2. So that simplifies down to a plus 2, and notice that I didn't show that last step there where I used the associative property of multiplication to multiply 1/2 times 2a to just give me a. I did that in my head. Let's look at another one. Problem 4, I have 4 times the quantity 2y plus 6, and then outside the parentheses plus 8. Again, the distributive property, 4 times 2y will be 8y, plus, that's that addition sign, 4 times 6 is 24, and then plus 8. Now I can regroup here and group the 24 and the 8 together using the associative property. I won't show that. I'll just write 8y plus 24 plus 8 will be 32. So that simplifies down to 8y plus 32. So I use the distributive property here to multiply this out and remove these parentheses. Then I'm adding what really are called similar terms. Here's another problem. 3y plus 5 plus 2y plus 1. Let's regroup it this way. 3y plus y plus 2y plus 5 plus 1. What allows me to do that is the commutative property of addition. Now I'm going to use the distributive property in reverse and write this as 3 plus 1 plus 2, close the parentheses, times y, plus, and I'll just group these together, 5 plus 1. So what I've done is taken this y from each of these terms right here and written it outside using the distributive property in the reverse direction from the way I used it in the previous problem. I can always check to see that this is correct by multiplying this back out. Y times 2 is 2y. Y times 1 is y. Y times 3 is 3y. Notice if I don't have this 1 right here, I'm not going to be able to multiply y times this and get this y that I started with. Now I can simply add. 3 and 1 is 4, and 2 is 6. Y plus 5 plus 1 is 6, and I end up with 6y plus 6. So that's a look at a variety of problems where we simplify expressions using the commutative, associative, and distributive properties.